All right, what's up? How's everybody doing tonight? Came in here with another live for you. Just want to keep posting these up so you know I stay consistent with uploading to my channel. And as you can see, I like talking about this book right here, right now. This is On Managing Yourself. The path to your professional success starts with a critical look in the mirror. Yep, big time. If you read nothing else on managing yourself, read these 10 articles. They've combed through hundreds of Harvard Business Review articles to select the most important ones to help you maximize yourself. This book will inspire you to stay engaged throughout your work life, tap into your deepest values, solicit candid feedback, replenish physical and mental energy, balance work, home, community, and self, spread positive energy throughout your organization, rebound from tough times, decrease distractibility and frenzy, and delegate, develop employees' initiative. It is a damn good book, by the way. I suggest getting it if you don't have it already. On Managing Yourself. All right. First one, how will you measure your life? Yeah, Harvard Business School's Christensen. Yeah, Harvard Business School's Christensen teaches aspiring MBAs how to apply management and innovation theories to build stronger companies. But he also believes that these models can help people lead better lives. In this article, he explains how exploring questions everyone needs to ask. How can I be happy in my career? How can I be sure that my relationship with my family is an enduring source of happiness? And how can I live my life with integrity? The answer to the first question comes from Frederick Herzberg's assertion that the most powerful motivator isn't money. It's the opportunity to learn, grow in responsibilities, contribute, and be recognized. That's why management, if practiced well, can be the noblest of occupations. No others offer as many ways to help people find those opportunities. It isn't about buying, selling, and investing in companies, as many think. The principles of resource allocation can help people attain happiness at home. Mhm. If not managed masterfully, what emerges from a firm's resource allocation process can be very different from the strategy management intended to follow. That's true in life too. If you're not guided by a clear sense of purpose, you're likely to fritter away your time and energy on obtaining the most tangible short-term signs of achievement, not what's really important to you. And just as a focus on marginal costs can cause bad corporate decisions, it can lead people astray. The marginal cost of doing something wrong just this once always seems luringly low. You don't see the end result to which that path leads. The key is to define what you stand for and draw the line in a safe place. Big time. Yeah, gotta have clear goals. All right. Managing oneself. Oh, actually, no. 33. Management time. Who's got the monkey? Well, actually, no, it is 13. Oh, whatever. So what was the other one? Oh, that was just straight up 3. Okay, never mind. All right. We live in an age of unprecedented opportunity. If you've got ambition, drive, and smarts, you can rise to the top of your chosen profession, regardless of where you started out. But with opportunity comes responsibility. Companies today aren't managing their their knowledge workers' careers. Rather, we must each be our own chief executive officer. Simply put, it's up to you to carve out your place in the work world and know when to change course. And it's up to you to keep yourself engaged and productive during a work life that may span some 50 years. Mm. To do all of these things well, you'll need to cultivate a deep understanding of yourself. What are your most valuable strengths and most dangerous weaknesses? Equally important, how do you learn and work with others? What are your most deeply held values? And in what type of work environment can you make the greatest contribution? The implication is clear. Only when you operate from a combination of your strengths and self knowledge can you achieve true and lasting excellence. The idea in practice. To build a life of excellence, begin by asking yourself these questions. What are my strengths? To accurately identify your strengths, use feedback analysis. Every time you make a key decision, write down the outcome you expect. Several months later, compare the actual results with your expected results. Look for patterns in what you're seeing. What results are you skilled at generating? What abilities do you need to enhance in order to get the results you want? What unproductive habits are preventing you from creating the outcomes you desire? In identifying opportunities for improvement, don't waste time cultivating skill areas you have little competence in. Instead, concentrate on and build on your strengths. How do I work? In what ways do you work best? Do you process information most effectively by reading it or by hearing others discuss it? Do you accomplish the most by working with other people or by working alone? Do you perform best while making decisions or while advising others on key matters? Are you in top form when things get stressful, or do you function optimally in a highly predictable environment? What are my values? What are your ethics? What do you see as your most important responsibilities for living a worthy ethical life? Do your organization's ethics resonate with your own values? If not, your career will likely be marked by frustration and poor performance.
Looks like
Oh, yeah, no problem. Oh, this still what?
it's mostly dry.
Oh, okay. What was that again? Yeah. Yeah, let me get back where I was reading. Yeah, what are my values? What are your ethics? What do you see as your most important responsibilities for living a worthy and ethical life? Does your organization's ethics resonate with your own values? If it doesn't, your career will likely be marked by frustration and poor performance. So, yeah, make sure you have a clear idea of what is the most important things in your life and work towards those things. Because if you're just doing things because someone told you to, or you feel it's just the important thing to do at the time, then you're going to be wasting energy. You're probably going to be feeling dead inside. Often, I feel like I get a boost of energy or feel energized when I have a clear goal in mind. So always make sure that you know what is the most important thing that you need to accomplish. Where do I belong? Consider your strengths, preferred work style, and values. Based on these qualities, in what kind of work environment would you fit in best? Find the perfect fit, and you'll transform yourself from a merely acceptable employee into a star performer. hmm So to speak a little bit on that, yeah, it's best. While it is good to tough things out, get used to being uncomfortable and all that junk. I feel like after a certain point, you're kind of, what's that old saying again? Being the beating a dead horse with a stick or something like that. I'm not so sure how it goes, but the main point of that saying is that after a certain point of forcing yourself to do things you don't want to do, you could end up causing issues for yourself. Like something that I'm facing right now, I often feel like drained throughout the day. I'm eating healthy, I'm exercising, but for whatever reason, I feel drained. I personally think that I'm not really allocating my energy to the right things at the moment, to the right um, goals at the moment. So because of that, I feel drained. I don't feel like I'm using the energy that I have at the moment in the right way. So consider your strengths, your preferred work style, and values, and consider what the best environment is that you would work in. It's better to work with things that give you an advantage than to try to constantly keep powering through something. Like, it's good to have that whole mindset of get comfortable with being uncomfortable, work through the pain, all that stuff like that. But after a certain point, you reach your limit and you're just like drained. You can't work if you're drained all the time. So after a certain point, you're going to want to have things that give you an advantage. Set up your workspace in a way that it's easy for you to get things done. What is the best time of day where you get the most done? Where do you get the most when you get the most energy? Do you feel the most energized at night, or do you feel the most energized in the morning? That'd be the best time for you to start working. So yeah, try to work with your strengths instead of trying to work against them. You know? What can I contribute? In earlier eras, companies told business people what their contribution should be. Today, you have choices. To decide how you can best enhance your organization's performance, first ask what the situation requires. Based on your strengths, work style, and values, how might you make the greatest contribution to your organization's efforts? Yeah, focus on the ways that you can contribute best to whoever you want to contribute to. Your way of doing something might not be someone else's way of doing something might not be the best way for you to do it. I would say that's the best interpretation of that. Like everybody doesn't have to contribute to the pot in one specific way. If one way isn't working for you, you can pivot. Try something else. That was, yeah, 33. Where's 33? Flip, 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 flip. You're racing down the hall. An employee stops you and says, "We've got a problem." You assume you should get involved, but can't make an on the spot decision. You say, "Let me think about it." You just allowed a monkey to leap from your subordinate's back to yours. You're now working for your subordinate. Take on enough monkeys and you won't have the time to handle your real job, fulfilling your own boss's mandates and helping peers generate business results. To avoid accumulating monkeys, how do you? Oh, so take it on me. How to avoid accumulating monkeys? Develop your subordinate's initiative, says Arnken and Wass. For example, when an employee tries to hand you a problem, clarify whether he should recommend and implement a solution, take action and then brief you immediately, or act and report the outcome at a regular update. When you encourage employees to handle their own monkeys, they acquire new skills and you liberate time to do your own job. How to return monkeys to their own proper owners. Onken, Wass, and Steve Hovoy, in an afterword to this classic article, offer these suggestions. Make appointments to deal with monkeys. When they say monkeys, they mean problems. Avoid discussing any problem on an ad hoc basis. For example, when you pass a subordinate in the hallway, you won't convey the proper seriousness. Instead, schedule an appointment to discuss the issue. Specify level of initiative. Your employees can exercise 5 levels of initiative in handling on the job problems. From lowest to highest, the levels are: wait until told what to do. That's number 1. Number 2, ask what to do. Number 3, recommend an action, then with your approval, implement it. 4, take independent action, but advise you at once. And number 5, take independent action and update you through routine and procedure. When an employee brings a problem to you, outlaw use of a 1 or 2. Agree on and assign level 3, 4, or 5 to the monkey. Take no more than 15 minutes to discuss the problem. Agree on a status update. After deciding how to proceed, agree on a time and place when the employee will give you a progress report. Examine your own motives. I think it'd be best to just do that shit during the day. That way you get everything else done. So that way it's not even a freaking report. It's just like a follow-up. Oh, I despise that shit. No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna freaking do it. Full motherfucking. Anyway, agree on. Yeah, we're gonna say that's okay. Yeah, we did that one already. Examine your own motives. Some managers secretly worry that if they encourage subordinates to take more initiative, they'll appear less strong, more vulnerable, and less useful. Instead, cultivate an inward sense of security that frees you to relinquish direct control and support employees' growth. Develop employees' skills. Employees try to hand off monkeys when they lack the desire or ability to handle them. Help employees develop needed problem-solving skills. It's initially more time consuming than tackling problems yourself, but it saves time in the long run. Foster trust. Developing employees' initiative requires a trusting relationship between you and your subordinates. If they're afraid of failing, they'll keep bringing their monkeys to you rather than working to solve their own problems. To promote trust, reassure them it's safe to make mistakes. Yep. Ooh, that's a big one there, man. That is a big one. All right, that was management time. Okay, how resilience works. That's page number 47. All right. These are dark days. People are losing jobs, taking pay cuts, suffering foreclosure on their homes. Some of them are snapping, sinking into depression, or suffering a permanent loss of confidence. But others are snapping back. For example, taking advantage of a layoff to build a new career. What carries them through tough times? That is resilience. Resilient people possess three defining characteristics. One, they coolly accept the harsh realities facing them. Number two, they find meaning in terrible times. And three, they have an uncanny ability to improvise, making do with whatever is at hand. In deep recessions, resilience becomes more important than ever. Fortunately, you can learn to be resilient. Yeah, I'm really getting tired of that. Yep. Idea and practice. Resilience can help you survive and recover from even the most brutal experiences. To cultivate resilience, apply these practices. Face down reality. Instead of slipping into denial, to cope with hardship, take a sober, down to earth view of the reality of your situation. You'll prepare yourself to act in ways that enable you to endure, training yourself to survive before the fact. Mhm. Example. Admiral Jim Stockdale survived being held prisoner and tortured by the Viet Cong in part by accepting that he could be held for a long time. He was held for 8 years. Those who didn't make it out of the camps kept optimistically assuming they'd be released on a shorter timetable. By Christmas, by Easter, by the 4th of July. I think they all died of broken hearts, Stockdale said. Search for meaning. When hard times strike, resist any impulse to view yourself as a victim and to cry. Why me? Rather, devise constructs about your suffering to create meaning for yourself and others. You'll build bridges from your present day ordeal to a fuller, better future. Yeah. Those bridges will make the present manageable by removing the sense that the present is overwhelming. Austrian psychiatrist and Auschwitz survivor Viktor Frankl realized that to survive the camp, he had to find some purpose. He did so by imagining himself giving a lecture after the war on the psychology of the concentration camp he was in, to help outsiders understand what he had been through. By creating concrete goals for himself, he rose above sufferings of the moment. Continually improvise. When disaster hits, be inventive. Make the most of what you have, putting resources to unfamiliar uses and imagining of possibilities others do not see. Example: Mike founded a business with his friend Paul, selling educational materials to schools, businesses, and consulting firms when a recession hit. They lost many core clients. They lost many core clients. Paul went through a bitter divorce, suffered a depression, and couldn't work. When Mike offered to buy him out, Paul slapped him with his lawsuit, claiming Mike was trying to steal the business. Mike kept the company going anyway he could, going to joint ventures selling English language training materials to Russian and Chinese competitors, publishing newsletters for clients, and even writing video scripts for other competitors. The lawsuit was eventually settled in his favor, and lo and behold, he had a new and more solid business than the one he started out with, because of all of the trying to save his business, trying to save himself. So he ended up with a much better business up from all that rushing. Yeah, I need to constantly keep moving because this shit is not working. And that's really good. I'm really glad I'm doing that. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. And that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Keep going. A lot of times I feel like stopping. Nope, keep going with it. But it is good. Just a while ago, you complained about not getting any time in. And I'm like, yep, there you go. Nah, it takes no longer than an hour. So once I do that myself, I'm gonna come back and do that. That's how I get my day started, my routine. By that point, oh yeah, resilient. See, that was how resilience works. Manage your energy. 61. All right. Organizations are demanding ever higher performance from their workforces. People are trying to comply, but the usual method, putting in longer hours, has backfired. They're getting exhausted, disengaged, and sick, and they're defecting to healthier job environments. Longer days at the office don't work because time is a limited resource, but personal energy is renewable, says Schwartz and McCarthy. By fostering deceptively simple rituals that help employees regularly replenish their energy, organizations build workers' physical, emotional, and mental resilience. These rituals include taking brief breaks at specific intervals, expressing appreciation to others, reducing interruptions, and spending more time on activities people do best and enjoy most. Help your employees systematically rejuvenate their personal energy. and the benefits go straight to your bottom line. Mhm. Take Wachovia Bank. Participants in an energy renewal program produced 13 percentage points greater year over year in revenues from loans than a control group did. And they exceeded the control group's gains in revenues from deposits by 20 percentage points. Mhm. So basically, a group. Mhm. So yeah, basically a group that had their needs met performed better and performed way better than the standard group that just sticks to the usual bottom line. That's stuff like, are you getting enough sleep? Do you have enough? Do you get enough breaks in the office? Stuff like that. Like little things, you know. That's one of the main things. Like why you have like lunchtime and corporate corporate get-togethers. You know, where you actually meet up outside work and do stuff. You need to have things like that to break away from the work schedule. Otherwise, you know that old saying, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy." It'll do more than make you dull. If you don't do things to give you time away from work, even just a little bit, like a couple minutes, it'll end up draining you big time. So it's not just a break, it's a way to renew your energy. Schwartz and McCarthy recommend these practices for renewing four dimensions of personal energy. Physical energy. Enhance your sleep by setting an earlier bedtime and reducing alcohol use. Reduce stress by engaging in cardiovascular activity at least 3 times a week and strength training at least once. Eat small meals and light snacks every 3 hours. Mhm. Learn to notice signs of imminent energy flagging. Include relentless yawning. Learn to notice signs of imminent energy flagging. These include restlessness, yawning, hunger, and difficulty concentrating. I'm pretty guilty of that right there. Take brief but regular breaks away from your desk at 90 to 120-minute intervals throughout the day. So 120, that's basically hour and a half, 2 hours throughout the day. Emotional energy. Diffuse negative emotions, irritability, impatience, anxiety, insecurity through deep abdominal breathing. Fuel positive emotions in yourself and others by regularly expressing appreciation to others in detailed, specific terms through notes, emails, calls, and conversations. hmm So yeah, regularly show appreciation for other people. hmm Yeah, it's definitely a way to get a good sense of dopamine. Feels good, not just for the other person, but also for yourself. Look at upsetting situations through a new lens. Adopt a reverse lens to ask, what would the other person say? Yeah, what would the other person in this conflict say? And how might they actually do right? Use a long lens to ask, how will I likely view this situation in 6 months? hmm And employ a wide lens to ask, how can I grow and learn from the situation? Mental energy. Reduce interruptions by performing high concentration tasks away from phones and email. Mhm. Respond to voicemails and emails at designated times during the day. Every night, identify the most important challenge for the day, for the next day. Then make it your first priority when you arrive at work in the morning. Spiritual energy. Identify your sweet spot activities. Those that give you feelings of effectiveness, effortlessness. Wow, I cannot read for shit. Hold on, I gotta think this too. Identify your sweet spot activities. Those that give you feelings of effectiveness, effortless absorption, and fulfillment. Find ways to do more of these. Find ways. Oh, one executive who hated doing sales reports delegated them to someone who loved that activity. And because they loved that activity, they were way more productive than the other person. Allocate time and energy to what you consider the most important. For example, spend the last 20 minutes of your evening commute relaxing so you can connect with your family once you're home. Live your core values. For instance, if consideration is important to you, but you're perpetually late for meetings, practice intentionally showing up 5 minutes early for meetings. Yeah. How companies can help. Support energy renewal rituals in your firm. Build renewal rooms where people can go to relax and refuel. Subsidize gym memberships. Encourage managers to gather employees for midday workouts. Suggest that people stop checking emails during meetings. It's a mix of both. It's both. And for some people, the yourself thing matters more than other people. I think that was how resilience works, right? Yeah, that was manage your energy, not your time. Now, overloaded circuits, 79. 79. All right. Nice. Frenzied executives who fidget through meetings, miss appointments, and jab at the elevator's door close button aren't crazy people. They're just crazed. They're suffering from a newly recognized neurological phenomenon called attention deficit trait. Marked by distractibility, inner frenzy, and impatience, ADT prevents managers from clarifying priorities, making smart decisions, and managing their time. This insidious condition turns otherwise talented performers into harried underachievers, and it's reaching epidemic proportions. ADT isn't an illness or character defect. It's not ADD, by the way, like attention deficit disorder. It's ADT. It's a similar trait, but it's not the actual disease. It's our brain's natural response to exploding demands on our time and attention. As data increasingly floods our brains, we lose our ability to solve problems and handle the unknown. Creativity shrivels, mistakes multiply. Some sufferers eventually melt down. How to control ADT's ravaging impact on performance. God damn. Foster positive emotions by connecting face to face with people you like throughout the day. Take physical care of your brain by getting enough sleep, eating healthfully, and exercising regularly. Yeah, I'd agree that would help a lot. Sleep, eating healthily, those are good, yeah. Organize for ADT. Designating part of each day for thinking and planning. And setting up your office to foster mental functioning. For example, keeping part of your desk clear at all times. These strategies may seem like no-brainers, but they'll help you vanquish the ADT demon before it can strike. I have been freaking mauled by the damn thing. I have been mauled by that. Damn. How can you combat ADT? Promote positive emotions. Negative emotions, especially fear, can hamper productive brain functioning. To promote positive feelings, especially during highly stressful times, interact directly with someone you like at least every 4 to 6 hours. And in my personal opinion, if not someone, at least do an activity that you enjoy at least every 4 to 6 hours. That way you can get your mind off of it, off of whatever stressful situation you're on. In environments where people are in physical contact with people they trust, brain functioning hums. By connecting comfortably with colleagues, you help your brain's executive center, responsible for decision making, planning, and information prioritizing, perform at its best. Take physical care of your brain. Ample sleep, a good diet, and exercise are critical for staving off ADT. You're getting enough sleep if you can awake without an alarm clock. You're eating well if you're avoiding sugar and white flour and consuming more fruits, whole grains, vegetables, and proteins instead. I'm doing most of that, but I can't help but eat my cane sugar. It's really good. It's organic cane sugar, so it's not that bad. You're exercising enough if you're taking a brisk walk or going up and down a flight of stairs a few times a day. No, I'm doing a lot more than that. Working out and with weights and skateboarding around. And that thing kicks your butt. All right. Organize your ADT. Instead of getting sucked into the vortices of email or voicemail first thing in the morning, attend to a critical task. With paperwork, apply the Ohio only handle it once rule. Whenever you touch a document, act on it. File it or throw it away. Do crucial work during times of the day when you perform at your best. No. Use whatever small strategies help you function well mentally, whether it's listening to music or walking around while working or doodling during meetings. And before you leave for the day, there's 3 to 5 priority items you need to address tomorrow. What your company can do. In firms that ignore ADT symptoms, employees underachieve, create clutter, and cut corners. Careless mistakes, illness, and turnover increase. People quitting as people squander their brain power. To counteract ADT and harness employees' brain power, Invest in amenities that foster a positive, productive atmosphere. Example: major software company, SAS Institute, creates a warm, connected, and relaxed work environment by offering employees perks such as a 7-hour workday that ends at 5. Mhm. Large, a large on-site gym. Damn, wow. A large on-site gym and daycare facility, cafeteria that provide baby seats and high chairs so parents can eat lunch with their children. The payoff: employees return favors with high productivity, and SAS's turnover never exceeds 5%, saving the company millions on recruiting, training, and severance. Big time. Overloaded circuits. So that was. Be a better leader, have a richer life. 97. Be a better leader, have a richer life. 97. All right. Life's a zero-sum game, right? The more you strive to win in one dimension, e.g., your work, the more the other three dimensions of your life, is. I cannot read. Damn. Life's a zero-sum game, right? The more you strive to win in one dimension, your work, the more the other three dimensions, yourself, your home, and your community, must lose. Not according to Friedman. You don't have to make trade-offs among your life's domains, nor should you. Trading off can leave you feeling exhausted, unfulfilled, or isolated. And it hurts the people you care about most. To excel in all dimensions of life, use Friedman's total leadership process. First, articulate who and what matters in your life. Then experiment with small changes that enhance your satisfaction and performance in all 4 domains. For example, exercising 3 mornings a week gives you more energy for work and improves your self-esteem and health. Which makes you a better parent and friend. Friedman's research suggests that people who focus on the concept of total leadership have a 39% increase in satisfaction in all life domains. Total leadership, right? In job performance, even while working shorter weeks, right? Total leadership helps you mitigate a range of problems that stem from making trade-offs among the different dimensions of your life. Feeling unfulfilled because you're not doing what you love, feeling inauthentic because you're not acting according to your values, feeling disconnected from people who matter to you, feeling exhausted by trying to keep up with it all. To tackle such problems using total leadership, take these steps. Number 1, reflect. For each of the 4 domains of your life, work, home, community, and self, reflect on how important each is to you, how much time and energy you devote to each, and how satisfied you are in each. Are there discrepancies between what is important to you and how you spend your time and energy? What is your overall life satisfaction? These are the important questions to ask. 2. Brainstorm possibilities. Based on the insights you've achieved during your four-way reflection, brainstorm a long list of small experiments that may help you move closer to greater satisfaction in all four domains. These are new ways of doing things that would carry minimal risk and let you see results quickly. For example, turning off cell phones during family meetings could help you sharpen your focus on the people who matter most to you. Several times a week. Exercising several times a week could help give you more energy. Joining a club with coworkers could help you forge closer friendships with them. Preparing for the week ahead on Sunday evenings could help you sleep better and go into the new week refreshed. Choose experiments. Narrow the list of experiments you've brainstormed to the three most promising. They should improvise your satisfaction and performance in all four dimensions of your life, have effects viewed as positive by the people who matter to you in every dimension of your life, be the most costly in regret and missed opportunities if you don't do them. And lastly, position you to practice skills you most want to develop and do more of what you want to be doing. 4. Measure progress. Develop a scorecard for each experiment you've chosen. For example, yeah, that's scoreboard right there. So scoreboard right there. You can see that. Okay. Yeah, be a better leader, have a richer life. That's what that was. 2, yeah. Yeah, that was be a better leader, have a richer life. And now reclaim your job. 115. Ninety percent of managers waste time and fritter away their productivity by grappling with an endless list of demands from others. Why? We assume wrongly that those demands are requirements and that we lack personal discretion or control over our jobs. The consequence? We remain trapped in inefficiency. But we can escape this trap if we learn how to grasp opportunities, trust our own judgment, and methodically fulfill personal goals that tally with our organization's objectives. Meeting that bottom line. The keys: set priorities and stick to them, focusing on efforts that support those priorities. Overcome resource constraints by attacking goals strategically, demonstrating success at every step, and develop a range of alternatives to exploit when Plan A fails. We all want to make a difference in our organizations or our business, as well as building satisfying careers. By understanding how we inhibit ourselves and taking purposeful, strategic action, we can seize control of our jobs rather than letting our jobs control us. The payoff: impressive results for our companies and rewarding work lives for us. Everybody wins. Mhm. To reclaim your job and better support your company's priorities, apply 3 strategies. Prioritize demands. To achieve personal and organizational goals quickly, slow down and focus your time and attention. Example: McKinsey Associate Principal Jessica Spugen took on too many projects that had little connection to her skills and interests. Result: her project teams related. Uh, her project teams rated her second form. I can't read shit. Result: her project teams rated her second from the bottom among her peers. She was rated very poorly. Yeah, result: her project teams rated her second from the bottom among her peers. Realizing her desire to be indispensable sprang from lack of confidence, Spugen took steps to manage demands. She clarified her goal to become a part-time, to become a part. I ain't going to do that when they just split it. She clarified her goal to become a partner. Then she set long-term priorities supporting that goal. She began managing her own development, for example, choosing assignments that most interested her. And she started orchestrating her time, meeting only with people who really needed her, and working on long-term projects during months when she traveled less. Her reward? She scored second from the top in her peer group and was named a McKinsey partner. Liberate resources. To relax resource constraints and with the backing you want, attack your goals strategically. Be patient. Be patient. The process can take years. Example: as the new head of HR development at airline Lufthansa, Thomas Sattelberger dreamed of launching Germany's first corporate business school. Knowing he needed several years to establish his credibility, he first overhauled inefficient HR processes. He then developed initiatives supporting the school. Yeah. He then developed initiatives supporting the school, raising money for these projects by presenting compelling facts and arguments to his counterparts and CEO. After 4 years of methodical work on Sattelberger's part, Lufthansa CEO and board understood how his programs fit together. When he wrote a memo to directors requesting creation of the school before Daimler-Benz could beat Lufthansa to the punch, that's a competing school, the board promptly approved the request. What is the example that was? Exploit alternatives. Use your expertise to anticipate and circumvent possible obstacles to your goals. You'll expand the scope of opportunity for your company and yourself. Example: Dan Anderson, a manager at oil refiner ConocoPhillips, was part of a team exploring Conoco's entrance into the Finnish market. Conoco decided to store petrol in tanks in Finland that Shell had abandoned. But Anderson developed contingency plans. Plan B, for instance, involved building a new facility. His efforts paid off. When research revealed the abandoned tanks were unsuitable for petrol storage, Anderson activated Plan B. Through the new facility target site, What the hell? Oh, that was a doe. My bad. Though the new facility target site was contaminated, Anderson discovered that Shell was responsible for cleaning the site. Once cleanup ended, Conoco built the tanks. Conoco became the most efficient operator of automated self-service filling stations in Finland. Anderson now heads Conoco's retail development in Europe. hmm Okay. But the main point of that was to use your expertise to anticipate and circumvent possible obstacles to your goal. You'll expand the scope of opportunity for your company and yourself. So, yeah, a problem is just a new opportunity waiting to happen. Just another chance to prove yourself. That was 150, right? Oh, right, one more. Oh, gosh. Moments of greatness. Entering the fundamental state of leadership. 127. How can I lead other people if I can't lead myself? Like all leaders, sometimes you're on and sometimes you're not. How to tip toward excellence and away from mere competence, or just barely getting by and doing just enough. Don't rely on imitating other leaders or poring over leadership manuals. Instead, enter the fundamental state of leadership. The way you lead when a crisis forces you to tap into your deepest values and instincts. In this state, you instinctively know what to do. You rise to the occasion and perform at your best. Fortunately, you don't need a crisis to shift into the fundamental state of leadership. You can do so anytime, before a crucial conversation, during a key meeting, by asking four questions. Am I results centered? Have you articulated the result you want to create? Am I internally directed? Are you willing to challenge others' expectations? Am I other focused? Have you put organization's needs above your own? Am I externally open? Do you recognize signals suggesting the need for change? No one can operate at the top of their game 24/7. But each time you enter the fundamental state of leadership, or what some people like to call being in the zone, you make it easier to return to that state again, or the flow state. And you inspire others around you to higher levels of excellence. Man, that's good shit. To enter the fundamental state of leadership, apply these steps. Recognize you've already been there. You've faced great challenges before, and in surmounting them, you've entered the fundamental state. By recalling these moments, lessons, by recalling these moments as lessons, you release positions and see new possibilities in the situation. 2. Analyze your current state. Compare your normal performance with what you've done at your best, done your very best. You'll fuel a desire to elevate. You'll feel a desire to elevate what you're doing now and instill confidence that you can re-enter the fundamental state, the flow state. Ask the 4 questions shown in the following chart. Yeah, that was a repeat of the other ones. So just to repeat that again. Like all leaders, sometimes you're on, sometimes you're not. How to tip the scale toward excellence and away from mere competence. Don't rely on imitating other. You don't rely on imitating other leaders or poring over leadership manuals. Instead, enter the fundamental state of leadership. The way you lead when a crisis forces you to tap into your deepest values and instincts. In this state, you instinctively know what to do. You rise to the occasion and perform at your best. Fortunately, you don't need a crisis to shift into the fundamental state of leadership. You can do so anytime, before a crucial conversation, during a key meeting, by asking 4 questions. Am I result-centered? Have you articulated the result you want to create? Am I internally directed? Are you willing to challenge others' expectations? Am I other-focused? Have you put others' organizations' needs before your own? Am I externally open? Do you recognize signals suggesting the need for change? No one can operate at the top of their game 24/7. But each time you enter the fundamental state of leadership, you make it easier to return to that state again. And you inspire others around you to higher levels of excellence. Mhm. Mhm. Each time you do the things you need to do to enter the zone. All right, that'll do. End stream. Goodbye, people. Or whoever's crazy enough to watch this shit.